Hey guys, welcome back to the Drone Camp Studio. I'm Justin Davis and we're here to do a new video today. These are a couple accessories you might not be able to live without for your Mavic Pro this year. These are pretty cool. They're from our friends over at freewellgear.com. You can check out their website in the link below. Now let's get started. The first thing I want to show you that's really super cool on the bench is this variety right here of prop guards. And these are quick release. They go over the top of the arm on the Mavic and they go on specific arms, so I'll show you which ones they go on, and they have snaps on the bottom that snap down in place and they lock into place, and when you're ready to take them off you just pop this little snap up, pop this little snap up, and they're ready to come off the arms. Pretty quick and easy, so you don't have to put any screws through these. They're quick on and quick off, which is super awesome. Now the next thing I have to show you is actually this little foot accessories kit. Some of you guys were asking about these. I didn't show them in that previous video, but here they are. These are the Freewell versions, and what they're going to do is I have the camera down low so you can see how low the Mavic Pro sits on the ground. If you just got one of these, be sure to pick up a set of these because these give yourself a couple inches off the ground and raises that gimbal up a little bit higher. That's going to help you out in landing in the grass, because if you are landing in the grass with the Mavic Pro, you can see it's pretty low and you don't really want to get any sediment into the gears on your gimbal there. So we're going to keep that off the ground as much as possible. Also, be sure to check out that cool little landing pad that I showed you earlier with those cool little stakes in that previous video. So let's go ahead. Let me give you an aerial view of what we have here on the table, and I'll show you how these go on and how they come off. They're pretty easy. So before I show you how they go on, let's go ahead and weigh them. Right now they're 118 grams all together with the fasteners and the outer extension arms. Let's go ahead and move the mode down to pounds, and I'll show you that as well. It's 0.26 pounds, so not very heavy. Under a half pound. This is not a lot of weight to add to your Mavic Pro. It's not going to decrease any of your flight time by anything noticeable. Okay, so I have my Mavic Pro here and I have one of the prop guards. I can show you how the edge has a nice long flat bevel here to provide a little bit of bumper protection as this goes on. It goes underneath the motor. Now it also has two holes here on each side that this will snap down into. There's two parts right here that are going to hook right in there. So also when you put these on, be sure to pay attention to the way that this looks from the very top and the way this curve goes, because it actually matches your Mavic Pro. You don't want to put the wrong one on the wrong arm, so pay extra special attention to when you're putting these on. Now these little snaps, they do snap off. They can come off if you need them to for transport, or you can snap them back on, and they're actually pretty snug in place. The plastic feels like it's some kind of industrial type plastic. It's not carbon by any means, unless there's carbon infused into it, but I don't think so. So they're just industrial plastic. Now I'll go ahead and install the first one for you. So now I know I have the right one that goes on. It follows the curve of the frame, and that's the correct one for that arm. So I'm going to go ahead and take the prop guard, put it up underneath the arm, and pull it up until it stops and it feels flush with the bottom of the arm on the Mavic Pro. Then I'm going to take this piece and put it over top. There's two little pins on each side here. You want to line those up with the bottom part, and when you feel it snap in place, then you can go ahead and push these two snaps down and you'll hear them click into place, and that's it. You don't have to have any screwdrivers or any Allen wrenches or any tools to put these on and off. That's the coolest thing about them. So if I want to take it off, I just pull that down and the prop guards come right off, and then we can pull the top part off and you're ready to put it in the car. So that's actually pretty cool that they go on and off that quickly. So as quick as I can show you here, and that one's ready to go. Quickest prop guards I think I've ever used. And now I can do the front right arm. I have this top part on. Now I can just put this underneath here, pull it up, make sure those two pins on the very bottom go through the holes there. Hear a little bit of a snap. Snap the arms down on both sides, make sure it's flush, and that's it for that arm. Now for the right rear, just going to bring this one up, and underneath those two little pins go in place and these two little snaps go down. And for the last one, we just put this one underneath, make sure it locks into place there, snaps, and we're done. And that's all there is to it, guys. That's pretty easy. Snap those on within a matter of minutes and you can go fly. So as quick as you can put your props on, you can put these prop guards on. That's pretty cool. Now the next thing I want to show you are these awesome little feet, and these are little extenders that go on the bottom of the Mavic Pro, and they'll raise it up a couple inches off the ground and bring that gimbal up away from the grass and sediments. I know, some of you guys have mentioned, where are the landing gear extenders? Here they are, check them out. These are the freewell versions, and they do have little soft pads on the bottom of the feet, so that's pretty cool for the front, and they have soft pads on the rear too. Now this one snaps on the very back, and make sure you have this part facing the rear of the copter, because you do not want to cover up these sensors underneath here on the bottom of the Mavic Pro. Pretty important to have this facing backwards, and it has two little snaps right here that will snap and clip into place on the rear landing gear of the Mavic Pro. That's pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and install the first two. The first two go on, and like I said, just look inside here and you'll see a little R here. Line this up whichever direction it goes and push it on until it feels snug, and same thing for the other side. It'll kind of go the opposite direction that the landing gear looks. And now the front's on. Let's go ahead and put the rear one on. I'll just flip it upside down so you can see that there. And I'll snap these two clips on. And you see how it doesn't block the sensors there. If we put it the other way around, it's going to be right over top of that optical flow sensor, and we don't really want to do that. So now we are a couple inches off the ground. It's got a little bit more height to it now, and that's going to be great for your Mavic Pro. Let's go ahead and take the ruler here to show you the actual height. So yep, we are about 2 inches off the ground now. So that's nice to keep the sediment, the dust, and particles out of your gimbal or grass blades when you come in for a landing. So that's pretty nice. We have a pretty nice looking Mavic Pro here. So some of you guys might be wondering if it folds up with these landing gear extenders on there. Yes, it actually does. So I'm going to flip this over for you, and I'll do the bottom ones first. As always, they go right past the rear extenders, and the top ones, the front arms, fold back just like that. So they actually do still fold up. If you want to keep them on, you can, and put them in a bag. So, and then when you're ready to fly again, you just flip them back out, and you're ready for takeoff. Pretty cool. Okay guys, something also that you might want to consider this year, if you're using your Mavic Pro outdoors in any type of sunshine, summertime, these would be awesome. These are a variety of different ND filters for the Mavic Pro that actually just snap right onto the end of your little camera gimbal. They're not hard to install. You just push it right on over top of your existing lens. You don't have to screw anything on. They fit really nice and snug on the camera itself. So what do you get in the kit? The first thing you get in the kit is you get a really cool little pin to take out in the field. And one side has a retractable brush that you can brush off the dust off of your lens. When you're out in the field, you can make it shorter or longer to make it a little more rigid, and then you can retract it when you're done. Now the other side has a nice little felt pin top, so you can put that on the end of your lens. If you have some lens cleaner, you can also do that and have a nice a little felt pin out in the field. It's nice to keep it nice and clean for your shoots. Before you start shooting, always do that. And on your filter as well, clean both sides. Now inside this box right here, it comes with a variety of different filters. You have CPL, ND8, ND16, ND32, ND8/PL, and the ND16/PL. Inside that box, this is what you get. You actually get a little package, nice little carrying case that you can use for your filters. Let's go ahead and open that up, and you can see your 6 filters inside. And they each have a little pocket that they can go in. If you get more filters, you can just add them right in here with these. No need to carry extra cases along with you, but that's pretty nice for transport. And I'll show you how these go on. They're actually pretty easy to install. So I'll set this to the side, and your gimbal is already going to balance out correctly when you put this on here. These are the ones that you can put on before you turn on the Mavic. There's some other ones out there that don't quite work correctly. You have to put them on after you turn on the Mavic, and that would be kind of a setback. So these are the ones that actually you can put on before you turn on the Mavic. So hold the gimbal with your hand nice and still, and you just simply slide it over top of the front lens there until you feel it nice and snug, and that's it. That's pretty much all there is to installation. It's pretty easy. And look at what a big difference that is. It almost looks like a lens cap, it's so dark. But what it's going to do is it's going to make the colors out in the sky a lot richer, and you're going to be able to see the clouds, and they're not going to be super blown out. You're not going to have to play around with the Mavic settings, the camera settings too much in the app. So this is pretty cool. A lot of pro photographers around the country, California and other places, use these little ND filters to get the best and the richest colors possible. Now what these also do that some of you guys might not know about if you're not photographers is that this actually slows down the shutter speed a little bit to give you sort of a natural motion blur effect in your video. And what happens is it removes any sign of jello whatsoever. It's going to look really smooth when you're using these. So I'll show you an example here. We'll go outside and we'll check that out. But if you're using the ND8, it cuts the light by 3 stops for like a normal sunny day. If you're using the ND16, it cuts the light by 4 stops for another more sunny day. And 32, the ND32 cuts the light by 5 stops for your super bright sunny days. So you want to use that ND32 on a really bright sunny day. Now there's 2 other filters in this pack that are sort of hybrid filters. They're multi-coated, so they have ND on them and they have the PL. So they have a polarizing effect and an ND filter in one. So what that does is it turns down the f-stop, like the ND8 cuts the light by 3 stops, and it also removes some of the glare and the bright sunlight glare that you're going to get from your drone when you're filming. So this is a pretty neat hybrid. You can see that on both sides there, how that's coated. That's pretty neat. So let's go ahead and let's go outside and let's do a little testing of these lens filters, and I'll show you what they look like outdoors.